All right, so we're going to take a look here at problem number 3 from the week 2 homework assignment. So we're asked to refer to this table, which tells us about multiple births in a country. So notice here that our table contains 4 columns and it contains 2 rows. All right, so the first column here just tells us about a year, 2009 and 2010. The second column gives us the number of sets of twins in, of course, 2009 and 2010. The third column gives us the number of sets of triplets for 2009 and 2010. And finally, the fourth column gives us the number of sets of quadruplets for 2009 and 2010. What we need to do is find the total number of children born in a twin, triplet, or quadruplet birth for the year 2010. All right, so what we need to remember here is that what we're asked to find is the total number of children born. All right, and specifically, we need to remember that if a set of twins is born, that means that 2 children are born. If a set of triplets is born, 3 children are born. And if a set of quadruplets is born, then 4 children are born. So we need to do the math here to figure out what is the total number of children born in any of these specific sets, twin, triplet, or quadruplet, for the year 2010 first. So in the year 2010, that's the second row of the second row of the table, there were 132,564 sets of twins. So let's figure out how many total children that is. We know there are 132,564 sets of twins. Each of those sets contains 2 children. So we would need to multiply this number by 2. All right. So that gives us a total of 265,128. Oh, that didn't work out too well. Let's try that again. 265,128. All right, so let's do that same thing also for our triplets and for our quadruplets. So for our triplets in 2010, we had 5,503, 5,503, and that is sets of triplets. So each of these sets of triplets is going to have 3 children apiece. So we need to multiply this value by 3. That's 16,509. So we've got 16,509. All right, and then finally we have our quadruplets as well. So in 2010, there were 313 sets of quadruplets. 313 sets of quadruplets. A set of quadruplet is going to contain 4 children, so we'll have to multiply this by 4. And that gives us a total of 1,252 children. So 1,252 children. All right, so just a recap of where we got all these numbers again. So remember, we were given the total sets of twins born in 2010. So we multiplied that by 2 to get the total number of children that came from twin sets. All right, we were also given the total number of sets of triplets born, multiplied that by 3 to get the total number of children that came from triplet sets. And we were also given the total number of sets of quadruplets. We multiplied that by 4 to get the total number of children that came from quadruplet sets. So now we want to add all these numbers together to figure out what the total number of children is that came from either twin, triplet, or quadruplet sets. So we're going to have this number here, 1,252. Since it's already stored into my calculator, we'll take that and we need to add to it the total number of children that came from our triplet sets, which was 16,509. And then we need to add to that the total number of children that came from our twin sets, which is 265,128. So our final answer then would be 282,889. So 282,889. 889. We're going to need to remember that. All right, so 282,889. That would be our answer for part A. So now in part B, it says we need to do the same thing. Find the total number of children born in a twin, triplet, or quadruplet birth, this time for our other year, the year of 2009. So that's the first column here in our table. So we more or less need to go ahead and do the same thing. For this time just for the year 2009. So we have 137,216 sets of twins. Multiply that by 2 for the 2 kids in each of those. So that's 274,432. 274,432. All right. And now let's take a look at our triplets. There were 5,904 sets of triplets. 5,904 sets of triplets. Times that by 3 for the 3 children in every set of triplets. That gives us 17,712. 17,000, excuse me, 712. And then finally we have our quadruplets. Almost there. So our quadruplets, there were 354 pairs of quadruplets in 2009. So 354 pairs of quadruplets, or sets of quadruplets as they're using, and multiply that by 4 for the 4 children in each set. So 1,416. All right, so now let's go ahead and add up all of these values, and that'll tell us how many total children were born in 2009 as twins, triplets, or quadruplets. So we have 274,432 plus 17,712 plus 1,416. And that gives us 293,560. So we had 293,560. Sorry, that 2 is a little messy there. All right, so that would be our answer then for part B. All right, for part C, it says, in which year were there more children born as twins, triplets, or quadruplets? So basically we're looking at this purple and orange number here, and we want to know which of these numbers is larger. So if we take a look at the number furthest to the left, all right, or in the highest place value here, so this would be our 100,000ths place. They're both 2's. And if we look at the next place over, the 10,000ths place, here on our purple number from 2010 we have an 8. Here in the orange number from 2009, we have a 9. Notice here that 9 is greater than 8. So we know that in the year 2009, which is what we just calculated, that's going to be the year in which there were more children born as twins, triplets, or quadruplets. And then finally, for our very last part of the question, it says, how many more children were there? Well, if you want to know how many more there were, this is when we're going to find the difference between these two numbers. The difference meaning we need to subtract. So we take the larger of the two numbers, which was our 2009 value, 293,560, and from that we want to subtract the 2010 value, the 282,889. And we get 10,671. So in the year 2009, there were 10,671 more children born in a twin, triplet, or quadruplet set.